Welcome into another live commitment. It is that time of the year. We got these things going almost daily right now, and we have a big one here today. It's always a big one on the On3 Recruits channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed because you never know when we are going live. So who are we here for today? It's Kamari Brooks. You can see he is the number 17 ranked edge in America, 115 overall. He's from Bogart, Georgia, and he's down to just two schools. It's Alabama and it's Georgia. We're going to find a winner today, but before we do that, let's take a look at these social handles. There they are. His career is about to take off. Make sure you guys follow along. Now, let's go to Bogart, Georgia, where we have Kamari Brooks. Kamari, it's your big day. How you feeling?
Feeling good. It's been a great day.
All right. We see your top two teams. It's Georgia. It's Alabama. Why did these two teams make your final list?
I feel like all throughout my process, they made a great relationship with me. I just feel like the way I feel like to take my thing throughout the day, just have a great relationship with the coaches. So I feel like they did a great job with that, and I feel like that's the reason that these two schools have made it this far.
All right. Now the floor is yours. Say your thank yous and let us know where you're committing to college.
Like I said, everybody in here, kind of been with me throughout this journey. I feel like I appreciate everybody for being here. That shows that the impact I made on a lot of y'all in this room. I love to thank my mom, and my brother. Without those three, I wouldn't be where I am today. They helped me through a lot, sacrificed a lot for me to get here. I feel like with that being said, I'll be committed to university.
Wow, there it is. Georgia Bulldogs for Kamari Brooks, the celebration. Family's going crazy. Friends, teammates, everybody's in there. Kamari, why was Georgia the best fit for you?
I feel like throughout my whole process, they made me feel like a priority throughout their school. So I feel like, and just the things they do at the school, it's a lot of the same stuff that we do over here in North Dakota. Our coaches talk to them a lot. So I feel like that's a big reason that I feel like the transfer from here to there is going to be it's going to be a hard process, but it's going to be easier because of the things that we do here.
You had a chance to tell Kirby Smart that you're going to be a dog?
Yes, I did. I told him yesterday.
What was his reaction?
He was excited. He just said, I'm going to do a lot of things for them and their program. So that was a really big thing that he said.
All right. Well, Georgia fans are going crazy right now in the chat. So when Kamari Brooks arrives in Athens, what type of player can they expect to get?
Just when you're a mature player, guys better come in and just be mature. I feel like that's the biggest thing. That's really what allows young guys to get on the field very fast. You come in, you know how to mature, have your manage your time very well. I feel like that's the biggest thing that the school's getting.
All right. Well, we're celebrating here in the studio. I got the Georgia helmet out. Got Rusty Manziel behind me. He's going to come on and talk about the importance of this commitment. So, Kamari, thank you for taking the time and appreciate you doing this live commitment with us here on the On3 Recruits channel.
No problem.
All right. Go Dogs. There it is. Kamari Brooks off the board. Let's bring in Rusty Manziel of Dogs HQ. And Rusty, this is a big one. I mean, you've been watching Kamari Brooks over, really the last 3-4 years. What type of player is Georgia getting?
Man, seeing him at the state championship games when the switch turned for me, Georgia offered him back in October. I'll tell you the one thing I really liked about him was, he's got a little juice to him. He talks a little smack, but he backed it up. He plays both sides of the ball for the defending state champions. And I'm telling you, man, I don't really like to use this word, but it's the most fitting now. This guy's a dog.
Yeah, he is, literally and physically. So
yes.
Kamari Brooks, it came down to two teams, Alabama and Georgia, but we know when it's those two teams, it's really everybody in the country is after you. So how were they able to win this on the recruiting trail?
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, to say it got down to Georgia and Alabama was true. He canceled his OVs to Texas and USC after he visited Alabama. Georgia got him first. Then he visited Alabama. He knew it was down to those two schools. Not many people in the country are going to turn down an official visit to Texas and USC. So he's kind of shut it down behind the scenes. And, credit to Christian Robinson, former Georgia linebacker who recruited in Alabama, stayed on him hard. But at the end of the day, Chidera Uzo-Deribe, the edge linebacker coach at Georgia, he wasn't losing Kamari Brooks. He wasn't losing a kid in his backyard. But I will say this for Kamari Brooks. He did his due diligence. He kept taking visits to both places. He was at Georgia a lot. Here's one thing I like about him too, Josh. This kid's 6'3.5", 238 pounds. He's got a 6'7.5" wingspan. And that's invaluable to play edge defender, be able to get those big offensive tackles off of you, be able to play in space. It's a tough-ass kid, man. He impressed me. Georgia offered him again. I said, like, in mid-October, he played his way into an offer for Georgia. But the more the season went on last year and watching him, man, I'm telling you, this kid's going to play at Georgia. And I'll be surprised if it's not sooner than later when he gets to Athens.
Yeah, he moves like a agile linebacker, but it's 6'3", 230 plus. You know, he's going to grow into that edge role. Kamari Brooks, you see it here. What a pickup. Now, the Dogs are rolling on the trail, Rusty, despite maybe a flip here or there going the other way, but still. Last week it was Kene Ogboko. Now you got Kamari Brooks. There's more to come. Who else right now is Georgia trending for?
My gosh, it's hard to say this, Josh. This last week of June is going to have a lot to say where Georgia finishes up. You talk about today, this is huge momentum. Tomorrow, they got a 6'6" tight end, defensive end Corey Howard out of Valdosta making a decision. You got Malachi Lee, literally a huge offensive tackle prospect, making a decision later this week. Jay Lamar, running back out of Colquitt County, making a decision later this week. The Georgia Bulldogs, Craig Dandridge, wide receiver out of Cambridge, making a decision this week. There's literally like 5 or 6
right here
decisions.
on the On3 Recruits channel, Rusty.
Yes. Yep. Hey, listen, I'm having text messages every day going, they're asking me for 2 people right now. Can you get me in touch with Hayes Fawcett? Can you get me in touch with Josh Newberg? I'm like, look, I can see what I can do. So that's a good deal, man.
It's our time to shine. I was literally texting with Craig. We're going to test it tomorrow, before Kamari went live. So we also have a Xavier Crowell on this channel. I know he's probably more of a Bama lean right now, but Georgia involved in Crowell as well.
They're involved there. I'm not saying I'm predicting that, but Georgia should get a little more mention with that, and we'll see where that goes. It's tough to go in that state and win those battles. But I'll tell you this, one last thing on Kamari Brooks. I never really get into comparisons because I think it puts kind of an unfair, target on these kids. But I'll tell you who this one reminds me of. It's pretty clear, man. This reminds me of former Georgia edge Azeez Ojulari. A kid, is now playing in the NFL. This was a big-time player in Athens. I think they're both similar, 6'3.5", 235, 240-pound guys with incredible length. And I think Georgia fans would be very excited if Kamari Brooks turns out to be Azeez Ojulari in Athens.
I think they're excited no matter what. And right now, and we appreciate you, Rusty. You guys can go to Dogs HQ for more full coverage of not only Kamari Brooks, but everything going on with Georgia recruiting. Rusty Mansell, appreciate you dropping by this live commitment.
Appreciate you, Josh.
And we're going to have more. This is not the last one. That's why I say hit subscribe, because you will get notified when we go live. That is key. You never know when we're going live. We have more commitments coming. We have a Xavier Crowell this week. We have Craig Dandridge. But today, it was all about Kamari Brooks committing to the Georgia Bulldogs out of Bogart, Georgia. The number 17 ranked edge in America is headed to Athens. We'll see you guys soon.